Okay, a quick video to show you why I have to have a fence. These apple trees are 4 years old, and I had a small fence around each one. And the tree line, this whole skyline was solid trees, and the only tree that got any sunlight was just this one. So now they've all got sunlight all day, and that's why you could see they were all planted at the same time. And this one's quite a bit smaller because it just simply didn't have the sun. But they do now. So these are in the garden at the new homestead, the old orchard that's in the old homestead from the 1800s. I'll have to hike down and make another video of that. We just planted these trees. So I've got peach and plum, and I can't remember what else. I would have written them down though. And these have all blossomed and they're doing good. And then some 4 cherry trees. And there's so much clay around here. I drill a really deep hole and then fill it full of old manure so that the ground can drain good. From what I understand, you dig your hole and then fill it full of water, and if it takes more than an hour to drain, you will have a rot problem. And these all drain pretty good now. So these sticks just jumped out and said, "I'm alive." And in this garden, they're free to grow. But I'm going to show you a tree that I planted just outside this fence. And the deer just cannot leave it alone. Here's the last 2 different types so they can cross-pollinate. So I'll pause this for a second. Okay, this one is a walnut, and we've got a giant walnut by the pond that's over 100 years old. And this guy, I don't know how good I don't know how to do a macro setting up close. You could see maybe how the deer just, as soon as there's just the tiniest bit of growth, they've got to just snip it off. They just snip that one off. And they'll get this one tonight if I don't put a fence out here. And they snipped that one off. And so it's going to make it if the deer will let it live. So this was planted the same day that the others were, and I'm sure walnuts probably start growing later in the year, but not that much. They just are trying to go, oh look, a tiny leaf, how tender. And so you just can't, I trained my dog years ago when he was a pup not to chase deer, because he'll wear you out and he'll wear himself out. You just can't keep all the deer off of 40 acres. He will keep cougar and he will keep bear off. He knows the difference. He's allowed to chase digger squirrels, but he's not allowed to chase gray squirrels. He knows the difference. We like him to leave the lizards alone, but he can't leave them alone. But the deer, the geese, the turkeys, and the fox, he leaves them alone. So he can't be responsible for keeping the deer out of here. It's just too many acres. So the only way is a fence. So now I'm going to put a temporary fence till this tree can grow up and get established. Just chicken wire and some T-posts. And see if we can let this thing grow enough to get established. I may even transplant it. The wife wanted a gazebo up here on this little spot, which would be very cool. It would be very cool to put in a wood-fired jacuzzi. She asked me yesterday if there was any way we could convert the hot tub to solar, and I said no, not on our budget. I do know where there's a pear ranch that's got a few miles from here. He has several thousand solar panels, and he has a $125,000 battery bank. Yeah, he could run a jacuzzi, but we can't. So we were talking about a way of going wood-fired, and I said, hey, why don't we just take the jacuzzi off the upper deck, see if we could trade it to somebody for one of those really big clawfoot bathtubs, not like the one we have upstairs, I mean a big one, like a 7-footer, and build a little wood-fired unit for that, and put a small circulation pump on it. And that would be a neat idea. And then we could not feel like we've given everything up. Beautiful day. Lots of sun today. Anyway, just the short video on why I have to have fence even for the orchard. Have a blessed day.